It is New Year's Eve, and some of us will be eating pork and sauerkraut for good luck with absolutely no idea why we're doing it. So let's take a look at some of those familiar New Year's traditions this morning, shall we? Traci Manning's here from the Mahoning Valley Historical Society, doing a little Throwback Thursday on a Tuesday. Why not? Throwback Tuesday.
Why not?
We can do that, right?
Yeah, we can do anything we want.
Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New Year.
So tracking time has been around basically since the beginning of time,
Yes.
pretty much. They've tried to figure out where you are, even if a calendar didn't exist yet, right?
Exactly. So this is where history meets anthropology and physics and all those other sciences because, yeah, we've been tracking time and creating calendars kind of since the beginning of time. So we get these lovely pieces of art like you see on the screen there that have different constellations, and that's basically how we've done it, right? Is the position of the sun, the stars, the moon, all of that. So there's a lot of different calendars out there, which is why we have so many different New Years.
Yep.
You know, there's different New Years in different religions. There's different New Years in other cultures. So it kind of depends on which calendar you follow to get to your New Year.
Well, tell us a little bit about the creation of those calendars, and Julius Caesar had something to do with it, right?
Yeah, so there were so many different calendars. So the Julian calendar kind of came about. You see some pieces here, and he was really kind of putting things in motion with the stars. And this is something that, for me, it gets a little complicated. I can't wrap my head around how they created these calendars. So if you're interested in it, I would suggest doing a little extra research.
Exactly. There have been several throughout the centuries,
Yes.
and even now. I mean, Chinese New Year.
Exactly.
You have ours. There's a few different ones now. Even.
Yeah.
Oh, these days, either way, no matter when you celebrate it, New Year's is a massive celebration.
It is.
Fireworks are obviously popular. Phantom Fireworks is around here. This
Of
is a
course.
big holiday for them.
Yeah, so fireworks, you see on the screen here, those sparklers, of course some champagne if you celebrate, if not, a little, sparkling cider or something like that. So yeah, these holiday traditions, one of the biggest ones, of course, takes us back to New York City.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going back almost 100 years now, or 120 years, excuse me, to the first ball drop. Now that first ball, very different than what we
Yes.
see today.
Wasn't crystal or LED lights,
No,
right?
this thing was like iron and wood, and it had 100 or so light bulbs on it. Now today, I think the last thing I read, it weighs over 11,000 pounds today is what I
Unreal.
think I read. Unbelievable. So you can see there one of the recent balls in Times Square in New York City. So a little bit different than it used to be, but tens of thousands of people, probably more than that, will be in New York City to celebrate this year.
Yeah, freezing and not able to find a porta-john too.
True,
Just
yes.
by the way, and obviously it's been a thing for a long time, as you can see from the headline here, right?
That's right. So even fireworks back in 1905. So that is something that we kind of continue doing throughout the years.
Well, at the beginning of the segment, I mentioned some of the odd or unique, I guess not odd foods, but unique for this time of year. How did certain foods get tied to New Year's?
So for the most part, these foods just really have their roots in good luck.
Okay.
So what you're seeing on the screen here, black-eyed peas, this is a tradition that goes back to the Deep South, possibly even back to Africa. This is a kind of a pork-based black-eyed pea dish that is meant to symbolize good luck.
Okay.
Like so many of these other things that are happening this time of year, whether it's tamales, whether it's pork and sauerkraut. One of the things with pork is pigs were kind of considered this very intelligent, progressive animal, and we know the pigs are a very smart animal. So that was one of the things they would try to eat pork this time of year to just bring some of that progress in as well.
One of the items on your list, I know not everybody can see them at home, there's things like Bavarian pretzels and grapes
Yes.
and lentils. Pickled herring.
Pickled herring.
That one jumps out at me a little bit.
Sure, delicious, right?
Sure.
So you could have your pickled herring, which would be a nice Scandinavian tradition, while you're eating your 12 grapes to symbolize the 12 months, and then a little Bavarian pretzel to wash it down. Just sounds delicious.
Pickled herring, so that you can forget about everything in the old year. Be like, I want to leave this behind like the pickled herring I just ate. Traci,
Possibly.
great to see you as
Yeah,
always. Thank you
thank
so much.
you.
Happy New Year
Happy
to
New
you.
Year.
And now you have a little bit of a history lesson behind some of those New Year's traditions, including pickled herring. Sounds delicious, right?